1. Hello everybody, and welcome to the first episode, which has taken a while to do. I don't know why it's taken so long, but welcome to the first episode of Two Friends and a Closet. And no, it's not what it sounds like. And of course, joining me. Wait, what? I'm trying to do the intro, man.
I'm sorry.
Okay. And joining me, as always, for every single one of these is, of course, Edge. Introduce yourself, good sir.
Hello, my name is Edge. That's EJ. I'm my own content creator, and I'm here to talk about stuff for an hour.
Yeah, talk about stuff for like an hour, 35 minutes, depending on how long we want to make this episode.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, basically, this as you saw, if you saw episode 0 was just like a test podcast. We wanted to see like how this would work and everything, and now I have better sounding audio and better everything, so everything should be going fine.
A little more sophisticated. I think you said we're going to be on Spotify this time, right?
Yes, I will. I'm going to throw this on Spotify and most likely Apple Music as well. So it will be on those, and it's also going to be on YouTube as well, because I want to get all the reaches I can for this podcast.
Yeah, of course.
So, episode 1. Wow. This is the reason the last episode was episode 0, because like I said, we wanted to make sure that everything was set up. We wanted to test run it all, but we did want to release that episode because we thought it was still good. But now each episode is going to have a title. It's going to have some topics we're going to chat about, and we're just going to have a good time and having fun doing this podcast.
Yeah, we're going to turn up the quality just a little bit.
Yeah, as episodes go on, quality will get better. I can promise you that.
We're still learning.
We're still learning. Don't worry. But this episode, do you want to discuss what this episode is going to be about for a second here?
Yeah, so it's the first episode. Obviously you have your fans. I don't really have a fan base yet, but
soon you will.
But it would be good for anyone who hasn't heard of either of us before and is just tuning into the podcast to know a little bit about us. Know a little bit about us.
Yeah, just know a little bit.
Today's about meeting the guys.
Yeah, meet the guys, and I'll kind of make a little thing there. This is meet the guys or something. This is episode 1. But so this is just meet the guys, because we said we both decided. Well, I kind of had the idea. I'm like, oh, why don't we just introduce ourselves? And then Edge came over and he's like, oh, I have the same idea too. And we're like, oh, cool. So we're on the same page.
Yeah. So it just made the most sense.
It just made the most sense to make the first episode about meeting us and like what we do. So as you're gonna know me, I'm that guy Nick. You've seen my videos if you watch them. I do like a bunch of vlogs. I do trailer reactions and all that stuff, because it's just fun to do. And then, as you know, if you go to Edge's channel, he's doing a bunch of videos as well. He does like essay short type videos that are really great and funny. He just released his EP recently on the 25th. And that's out on Spotify. I'll drop a link in the bio for that. So give that a listen, please. It was really good.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, give it a listen. It was really good. I mean, it's around like 9 minutes, but it's like something you can just put on and like just listen with and just chill for a second.
It's super short. And then it's good just background music, because there's no vocals, or very little, rather. There is a few, I guess.
Yeah, there's a few vocals. There's a few vocals thrown in there and stuff, but it's still really good, and there's still a lot of like effort you put into that. Because how long did that really take you exactly? Do you know?
Well, I started making it when we were still in school during quarantine. Maybe I think after New Year's was when I really started. Like maybe February. Was when I really started committing and going ham and started making stuff. Like I think February I made Intermission Interlude, which is that ethereal.
That was the first track. That was the first track you ever released.
Yeah.
So you had that done. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to release that as soon as I could, because I wanted to get myself on Spotify so I could show people like, hey, look, I'm on Spotify. Follow me. I'm gonna make music and stuff, whatever. And I think that track turned out really good.
Yeah, I liked it.
It was experimental.
But I was chatting with my dad about it. He knows that you released an EP. I'll probably tell him about it again. As you know, he listens. My dad listens to like rock and stuff. I'll have.
Yeah.
My dad wants to be a guest on the podcast one of these days, so I definitely want to have him
for
on.
sure.
Yeah, I told him. I'm like, he told me, he's like, when is it gonna be two friends in a closet with a dad? And I'm like, you know what? Shit, that's a good idea, man. We'll throw you on the podcast one day, just to have him on as guest, because my dad's hilarious. And so basically, I was telling him about it, and I told him, I'm like, yeah, my friend, he plays drums and stuff. And he knows how to play bass and guitar. And I'm like, you tell me. He's like, you guys should jam. And I'm like, yeah, we've talked about it. Like, we should jam. Yeah, we've been trying, but it's a bit difficult right now. But anyways, yeah, with your EP and stuff, he told me he listened to your EP, your first song, because that was back in before your EP released a bit. It was like a week before.
Yeah.
And he listened to a bit. He's like, yeah, I get what he was doing. That's all electronic, right? And I'm like, yeah, some of it. Most of it's doing himself. But he's like, yeah, he's talented. And I'm like, yeah, he is. He's cool. He knows what he's doing. And I'm like, you put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, it's interesting. It was interesting making that. I think we can go more in depth in another episode.
Yeah, well, I think we'll probably throw that into like one episode where you really talk about like full on music and everything. Which I think that will most likely be an episode where we all just like throw in music and stuff and just full on get deep dive into it.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That would be fun. But yeah, we just wanted to talk about his EP for a second because it dropped. So again, it will be in the link down below. Go listen to it right now. Stop what you're doing. Listen to it. Actually, listen to fun making it. Yeah, listen to this podcast first, then go listen to the EP because listen to this first, then go listen to the EP. It's like 9 minutes. Yeah. It's not even that much time out of your day.
Yeah, if you can listen to this, you can listen to that.
Pretty much, yeah. All right. Anyways. We already introduced ourselves. You're Edge, I'm Nick. We both talked about our YouTube. Actually, you can talk a bit more about your YouTube channel and what you want to do. Because I talk about what I want to do. So you go right ahead and do that.
Yeah, so my channel, I don't have like a camera or anything. I don't show my face very much. I guess I did show it in that one video, but that was like an older picture, so. But I make video documentaries type thing, which sounds boring, but video essay, I guess, is more accurate.
Yeah.
Think videos like Game Theory or like Super Eye Patch Wolf, if you've ever heard of him. I love him. Just that sort of like, I'm talking, here's some images to go along with what I'm talking about. And I try and, throw a little bit of jokes in there every so often. But most of it is like visual jokes because I don't like writing jokes. It feels fake to me sometimes. But maybe that's just because I'm bad at writing jokes.
Yeah, no, I've never really been one of the people to be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna write a bunch of jokes because I can't really do that. But I mean,
if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, usually my jokes come naturally. But in your videos and stuff, your jokes are like really on cue, and like I'm watching them, I'm fucking dying over here. I think it's your FNAF one or your Watch Dogs one. Both of them I really laughed at. Your Watch Dogs one I was laughing at pretty hard. I was like,
yeah, the Watch Dogs one's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, I like that one. The one thing you did with your brother, and when you told my brother about the script, and he did the whole thing, I was like. I was fucking dying. I was like,
that was so good.
Dude,
he was like, because I told you my little brother, it was in the first one. My baby brother, he was in the FNAF video, and I used him as comedic effects so I could slap him because that's funny.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
But the second one, my little brother, he heard I was making a video, so he was like, I want to be in it because Zach was in the other one, my other little brother. So he was like, I want to be in it. So I was like, all right, well then you gotta write a part of the script, like you got to talk about the game. And he goes, but I don't even know anything about the game. So we ended up like joking around, like, what if you just slammed the desk in anger because you can't figure it out.
Dude, that was fucking perfect. Wait, what's that? Wait, so that clip was actually him, right? Slamming his desk.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah, that makes it 10 times better. That makes it 10 times better.
Yeah, it was so good.
Him to scream at it, and he's like, dude, and it was perfectly timed too. It was like when I asked my brother to write a script, he did this. And I'm like, nah, dude. I was like, shit.
I know. He sent me like 4 clips. And a lot of them, before he screamed, he would like scream, I don't know anything about this game, and then slam the desk. But there was one where all he did was just slam the desk and scream, and that was
the perfect one. That was the perfect one.
Oh my gosh, it was a lot
Dude,
of fun.
it was really cute. But yeah, your videos are like he does video essay videos. I'll delve into that realm one day. Hope probably.
Yeah,
I do have an idea for one, but I do want
yeah,
to
it's fun.
wait. I do want to wait a bit. It's I might mention what it is. It's for the Marvel's Avengers game.
Ooh,
Because that game really it's something else in
yeah,
a
that
very
game
bad
is.
way. And I definitely do want to voice my full on opinion on it but I do want to wait until like the new expansion comes out, WolfOCon, and I guess I'll play that. And I gotta play the Hawkeye still because I gave up Advocate Bishop. I'm like, nah, I'm done with this game, and I uninstalled it
Yeah,
and everything. I was done with it, so I'm gonna get into it one day again. But like as of right now, nah, I'm not. I can't.
yeah,
I got a bunch of other games I gotta play.
yeah. So me and you, we have a lot of overlapping interests. You know,
Yeah,
we
yeah, we do. That's what made
obviously,
us friends originally back in
yeah,
this can be a part of introducing ourselves. You told him how we kind of met, but not exactly how we met, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
I mentioned PE.
yeah, you were new, a new student, weren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
he was
I
a new
just moved
student
in.
and we were all in line and me, Corbin, Jim, I think no, Jimmy wasn't there. Me, Corbin,
Yeah, I think it
Chris,
was
and
later.
Winston we were already friends and stuff. We were already hanging out. I think Nathan hadn't shown up yet.
No,
And I think
he came after me.
yeah, yeah. Oh, Will was before you too, I think.
Will was before,
Yeah, Will
yeah.
was before you. So then one day, this kid, I guess he was like, I don't know, what were you doing exactly? Because you
I
kind of
don't
just ran into
remember.
us.
Yeah, I can't really quite explain it. I think I just remember seeing you guys standing around, and you guys, maybe you were talking about something, and I was like, oh, I'm into that or
Yeah,
something. I think,
I think because
hmm,
we all each of us had overlapping kind of interests. That's why we all became friends. Well, one thing that really like kind of bonded us was our comedic timing and our comedy,
yeah,
and
yeah, because we all had this like stupid sense of
yeah, all
humor.
of us made each other laugh. And I remember the first time I met you, you made a joke and you made me laugh pretty good. And then I made a few more jokes and I was making you die of laughter. I don't even know what the jokes
Yeah.
were, but all I remember
Oh
was I was
man.
making you laugh. And we just you know what's funny? I always thought you were some weird fucking sketchy kid because your haircut and shit. I always thought you were some just weird
Yeah.
sketch kid who did deals in the back of the school. And then I realized I'm
You
like,
were
no, this
everyone
kid
else.
I was like, no, this kid is the exact opposite. I wasn't scared of you or anything. I was just like, oh god, this guy scares me every time he shows up. No, I was just kind of like, oh, he's just cool. I just don't want to get in trouble with this guy. And then I
I mean, I can't
realized you are
blame
the
you.
yeah, I know. And then I realized you had like a little buzz cut too. So I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, yeah, I can't blame you. I showed up to school. I had a freaking buzz cut, and I wore hoodies every day
Yeah, I know,
in
right?
PE. Like,
So
you had every right to see
yeah.
me as sketchy.
But that was like one day only because that was like for a few seconds only because like right after we started making each other laugh, I knew I was like, oh no, this guy's fucking funny. This guy's cool.
Yeah,
And then that
that's
just
so
kind of
bad.
sprouted this whole kind of relationship between like seven, eight
Yeah,
people. It was
no, it was
insanity.
9 of us, was it?
Was it nine of us?
Yeah,
I won't drop the names of everybody, but I will kind of count them in my head really quick. So there was me, you, Winston. I'll mention Winston. There was Chris. I'll mention Chris because he's a part of he's been in my videos.
yeah,
Jimmy. I'll mention everybody. Jimmy, Corbin, Calvin, Ethan, and Will. Yeah,
yeah.
there was 9 of us.
That's so crazy. How did we?
Nine people met in PE. And the funny thing is that each time a new member came in, it was out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah,
Ethan,
dude. Oh my
Ethan
gosh.
yeah, dude,
Yeah,
Ethan and
Ethan
Jimmy
and
came
Will
out
were
of
both
nowhere.
like, "What?"
Yeah, Ethan and Jimmy came out of nowhere. Will came out of nowhere because he was
Dude, yeah,
because you weren't there for Will, but we told you about Will. Will was
yeah,
literally hanging out in the back gym doing pull-ups, and we were all hanging out in the corner anyway. And then Will just started hanging out with us, and then we realized, oh, he's like very shallow. Like he has a very like toned voice, but he's fucking hilarious because he made jokes at times and he did dumb shit. And I'm like, okay, yep, that's Will.
yeah, dude.
He just
Yeah,
randomly
I
started
think
hanging out with us. It was like you too, yeah.
Yeah, I think PE was just like a good period for it. I think all of us when we entered that gym, we just like turned off our humor and like dropped all the barriers, and
Yeah, we just
it
dropped
was
it off
just
because we were
vibe.
like, screw it, you know, it was fun. And
Yeah,
the
and then,
funny thing is, it was like a morning class. It was
yeah,
like right in
yeah,
the
we were
morning.
all
So
so
we
like
were all a bit tired, so we were all like, fuck. And
we were all just a little bit loopy.
But so that's what made us funnier though, because what had happened was it was originally the first person who ever kind of started this group was me, because I'm the one who talked to Corbin, and then Corbin introduced me to Calvin, and Calvin and Chris, and then Winston, and it all kind of just swirled together, and I had to like kind of keep everyone pulled in, you know, like. You know, because I mean, you know, we had Ethan and Jimmy. Ethan and Jimmy joined around the same time as well. And then once Ethan and Jimmy joined, I was like, okay, yeah, this is insanity.
Yeah, and then there was a couple times where we have unintentionally separated into like a couple groups, we're just all hanging out, and then it would be like sort of breaks into their own conversation circles.
Yeah, like me, Ethan, and Will would sometimes go off and do something stupid. Yeah. You and Chris would be the ones, and Calvin sometimes would be the one in the corner reading music and shit.
Yeah, we were all music geeks.
Yeah, we all of us joined music too, and then we had Winston, and Winston was Winston. Look, now, okay, listen. I've told Winston this before. Winston, if you're listening to this, I've already told you this before. None of us really cared about Winston.
Yeah, I mean, he was there to do his
I'm
own
really
thing.
sorry to say this, everybody, but it was because I don't know for what it was. I think it was just school that made him try to fit in better. But then once you meet him outside of school, it's a different thing. It's a totally different Winston. And now that he's outside of school, he's still got that Winston vibe from when we first met him, but he's totally like different. If you hung out with him now, you'd be like, oh yeah, no, he's fine. Even Chris knows. Me and Chris and Winston, we call ourselves the Trinity because we're like the last three members who hang out. And we do like
sounds about right.
Yeah, and since we all hang out, we all like have the like fucking greatest time ever. As you saw, if you've seen my Halloween vlog, you saw that. That was
that was crazy.
Yeah, that was a crazy day, and to hang out with those two guys that whole day was just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fitting that it's you three because Chris is very like quiet and to himself.
Yeah, Chris.
And you two are both very. Don't take this the wrong way, but you guys are both very loud and outgoing.
Yeah.
So.
No, I know. Being very loud and outgoing kind of helps you a lot. That's how I got 8 other friends.
Yeah.
That's how I got 8 friends and more. It's just weird. It just kind of we're eccentric. Winston's been toned down a bit. I'm still the same. I'm like, okay, let's do this. I'm like, Chris, get the hell out of your house. Oh, we're gonna Shanghai you. I'm like, I swear to God, I'm like,
kidnapping you.
Me and Winston have discussed. Well, like, if we have to, we'll Shanghai Chris, because we're hanging out tomorrow with Jimmy, and we're doing some stuff. Yeah, we're filming
an escape room.
Yeah, doing an escape room. So I have to like remind Chris every single day and be like, yo, Chris, remember we gotta leave at like 6:45. Remember,
you're waking up.
No, it's in the PM.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Chris, you're waking up. You're getting the hell out of your house. Be ready for Winston. He's gonna pick you up, and you're gonna come get me, and then we gotta go get Jimmy's sister, and then we're going down to wherever the hell this escape room was, which Jimmy has not told us yet, which I don't know why.
Yeah.
He said it's a surprise. I'm like, oh, okay. Shit, he's gonna kill us.
That man makes me nervous.
Yeah, Jimmy doesn't make me nervous anymore. He used to a bit, and I'm kind of like, this guy, he's gonna fucking do something. And I'm like, no, he's not. Never mind. And I'm like, no, Jimmy's just Jimmy.
Crazy.
Jimmy's insane.
Yeah, Jimmy's crazy.
Jimmy's crazy, but it's a good crazy where you're like, no, I can still be friends with this guy. And that's what makes him funny too.
Yeah.
And then
he was always one of the stars of the group. Like, let's be real.
Pretty much, yeah. Funny. And me and Ethan still talk a lot too.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Ethan as much, but
no,
I won't get into that here.
No, we're not. I've heard stories and stuff and a lot of shit. I'm not gonna say anything, but I've heard stuff, a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
like, I think I've heard stuff. I think I've heard too much stuff that I shouldn't know, but I do know because I knew these people. Also, funny thing. I've been you remember Fuzz, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm like chatting with this guy every now and then now, and we're like hanging out. I literally went to Wit and Wild with this guy, and he was like, oh shit, Fuzz. We literally all went together, and I'm like, cool.
Dude, Fuzz knows everyone. Like, he's part of my main friend group, but I think he's part of everyone's main friend group.
Yeah, he is.
Honestly,
Because Fuzz is
he
Fuzz.
knows
He's like,
everyone.
yeah, no. He's like, and he's like always so like always nonchalant. He always like, he's like, oh, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Okay, cool. So he always says hi to people. He's always like out there, and
yeah, he's always talking to someone. I'm
he's like,
dude,
he's like me, but on steroids and like,
right?
a lot more drugs.
Like, I thought I was a social butterfly, but then I met this guy.
Nah,
dude.
that man goes
Oh my
out there.
gosh.
He does not care. Dude, hold on. Funny story. Quick story time. So we were at Wet n Wild, and me and Fuzz were walking with each other, and we were just talking, getting to know each other. Great guy. Fuzz is fantastic, and
He's awesome.
He's a good friend of mine. And basically, we're walking, and there's this kettle corn stand, and he went and said, "I'm gonna sway these guys." And I'm like, "You gonna what?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sway them." I think it was the word "sway." So what he does is he goes up to the guy, and I'm over here on the I'm watching him, and he talks to this guy, and he has him give him a small bag of kettle corn popcorn for free.
There's
No, I saw it with my own goddamn eyes. It was for free. He handed him the small bag of kettle corn, like a sandwich bag of kettle corn popcorn, and he's like, "Cool," and then he walked off, and I'm like, "What
Dude,
the?"
oh
And he
my
walked right over to
gosh.
me. He's like, "Want some popcorn?" I'm like, "How the?" And I'm like, obviously I want some kettle corn, but yeah, I'm gonna eat some. And then
So
no,
great.
and then I didn't see this one personally, but he did tell me, and I believe him because he pulled off that kettle corn. There was a Dippin' Dot stand, and the two girls were in it, and he swayed them into giving him
dude.
a large-sized Dippin' Dots.
Dude, with the girls,
And I'm
easy,
just like,
easy dubs.
and I'm like, okay. I'm like, nah. I'm like, what? I'm hanging out with this guy more too. What the hell? I'm like,
I gotta learn from this man, bro.
I'm like, at the same time, I was like, I want to learn from him, but I also got to watch him because I don't want him doing anything stupid. Because he's out there, but sometimes I don't want him to fuck up with anything. I don't want him to get screwed over or something.
Honestly, I'm not worried about him. He's got the
True.
face, B, the personality to make like a trucker do the teapot dance, dude.
Yeah,
He is,
true.
oh my gosh, he is
I
such a
really just don't. I feel like if we ever went to a dance club with this guy, he would be like front and center, easily.
bro. For
Like, there's
sure.
no doubt about that. He'd be front and center. I would be like, yeah, makes sense. He's like, do you know that guy? I'm like, yeah, I do. I'm like, did you know he would do this? I'm like, yep. Why do you think I brought him?
Yeah, dude.
If me and him are still friends by the time I get married, he's definitely coming to my bachelor party because I know he's just gonna make that shit rock.
Oh,
There was
yeah,
no doubt
for
about that.
sure.
You're invited too as well.
God.
Early invite.
Oh, thank
Early
you. I
invite.
appreciate that.
Also, there will be. All right. Never mind. Anyway, continue. There you go.
Get back onto the topic a little bit.
Well,
Let's see.
that is kind of introducing
Yeah, that
ourselves
is
and our
topic.
friends. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of just talking about, oh yeah, this and that, you know.
Yeah. So I think okay, I think our next topic is our favorite childhood shows. Ooh.
Yeah, that's one I wanted to talk about. Anyways,
Yeah.
so one thing I wanted to do, I texted this to Edge here, and I said, hey, why don't I told him, like, I have two more topics: favorite childhood shows and favorite bands. And and then he was like, okay, yeah, that sounds great because it goes with the theme of introducing ourselves and like. Obviously, throughout these episodes, you're gonna learn more about us because we can't fit like 20 topics about what we like in one episode. So we're just gonna give you two, and like one of those things is favorite childhood shows because these are what kind of shaped our personality a bit and what made us into what we are. Idiots.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh. So what channels did you grow up on? Do you think?
I mostly grew up on JetX and
Yes.
Nickelodeon.
Oh my gosh. Yes,
There you
Jetix.
go.
I'm so
Dude.
glad you said Jetix.
Yes, JetX.
Oh my god, no one remembers it.
Nah, dude, of course I remember JetX. That was my shit back in the day. That was my shit. The fucking the eye and the little logo.
Yeah, the
dude,
little X thing with the ball on it.
I'll throw it on screen in editing. JetX is one of the most. JetX became Disney XD, and later in the future, Disney XD is it had some good shows. It did. What was that one show? Did you ever watch this? Zeke and Luther, that skateboarding show.
Oh my God.
that was a good show. I give Disney
a good
XD that,
show.
and there was some other good shows on there.
Yeah. So the interesting thing with Jetix was that it wasn't even a channel.
No,
It was a block. It was a
Yeah, it was a
block
block
on a bunch of channels.
on a
I think it was
channel.
I think it was Toon Disney and Fox Kids, which I want to say Fox Kids became Cartoon
Oh
Network, but
yeah.
I think I'm wrong.
No,
I
well,
think
I
I could be
mean,
wrong.
maybe. Well, Cartoon Network or old school Cartoon Network, we'll discuss that in a bit because there's a bunch of shit on
Yeah,
there.
yeah, for sure.
But old school Jetix, man,
Bro,
some
Yin
fantastic
Yang
shows.
Yo, freaking Puka. Oh my God, Power Rangers,
Power,
bro.
Power Ranger reruns, man. Old school stuff.
Bro, that's where I started watching Jungle Fury.
Dude,
I guess that's
same.
when I got into. Bro!
Dude, that's literally same. That's what exactly when I started watching Jungle Fury.
Yeah, dude, that was,
Dude,
man, what a
like,
nostalgia
all
trip.
those Power Rangers, new shows and the reruns is what I watched.
Yeah,
Is what I watched.
yeah, dude, I grew up on Power Rangers for sure. Like, once we hit the Netflix era
Oh
is
yeah,
when
that's when I'm like,
Power Rangers
oh, here
came
we go.
front and center.
Dude, I
Yeah,
straight up like watched like I grew up on Power Rangers. So did my mom. So then like
yeah,
she played it for me, and I'm like, I love this shit.
I love
I'm
it.
like,
It's so,
I
like,
don't
it's
care
so good.
how camp. Even now, I love it. I don't.
Yeah,
But I mean, the new. We don't talk about the new Power Rangers stuff because I don't really like it
yeah,
much.
yeah.
It's gone down. It took.
After, I
It
think
went,
after Samurai, it was really
oh
meh.
yeah, no. After Samurai, it went down the gutter. It went down the
Megaforce
gutter.
was super meh.
Megaforce was okay, but Megaforce relied way too much on nostalgia of the old characters, which I
Well,
hate.
yeah, I guess when I got to Super Megaforce, but I
Yeah,
mean
I mean,
if
original Megaforce was fine. Super Megaforce relied way too much on nostalgia, and the whole
yeah,
pirate thing was kind of weird. I was like, what the pirates?
I don't
What?
know. I kind of liked
It,
those uniforms.
I like the uniforms too. It's just the whole damn thing with them. I'm like, why are they pirates? What's the point? I'm like,
Yeah,
is there a story plot? But the story plot was that they get these little figures that they can turn into other rangers with
it's
their
the past
abilities.
Rangers. Okay, so here's the thing. I actually loved Super Megaforce in Japan. Like what it was called Super
I've seen
Sen.
Super Mega Force in Japan. I've seen a little bit of it on YouTube and
Yeah,
stuff.
and
Cause
in Japan, dude, they did it so well. Like, okay,
okay.
I think in America, every time they changed Rangers, they only stuck to their one color, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
When they changed Rangers, they only stuck to that one
they only stuck
color.
to their color. Okay,
Because
so
it
in
was like a
Japan,
bunch. The pink Rangers got the pink, the green got the green, and the
yeah,
black, and silver got the gold and the black and all that stuff.
yeah, you got all the specials.
And the red
Yeah,
got the red. Yeah.
so in Japan, they would do episodes where they would all become one color, and
Dude,
they would choose. Oh, like there was an episode where they all turned into a different Red Ranger, and they had the Red Rangers.
dude,
Oh my
old school
gosh.
Red Ranger stuff, man. The Red Ranger based episodes were always the best.
Dude, do you remember? I don't remember. I don't know if you remember Wild Force when they
Dude, of
did the
course I
Red
remember
Ranger
Wild
episode.
Force.
When
Yes, the
they did
Red
the Red
Ranger
Ranger
episode.
episode,
Yeah,
was
dude.
so
Of course I
good.
remember that. That was awesome. They brought back
Ah,
Tommy. They brought back everybody, man. And I'm like, no,
yes. Ah, that
dude.
was so
Watching that shit when I
cool.
was little on like a rerun or like on Netflix or something. I was like, holy shit. Because that was like my
Oh
first
my
watch through
gosh.
that was my first watch through the whole show, and I was like, okay, I'm like, this is amazing. As a little kid, seeing it, my favorite Red Rangers from like past shows show up in an episode. Oh, it was just, it was insane. It was amazing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. So cool. So yeah, they would do episodes where they all they would
Just
become
go,
one color.
just
But
one
if
color.
you look at the screenshots, you can tell like which one is which based on their stance
Oh
because
yeah, yeah,
you know
obviously.
they always stand in the same formation. Um,
Oh, I
let me
think
see if I can find a picture of when they all. No, I'm not gonna be able to find a picture, but God, so cool. Well, okay, what was your favorite series? Do you think
of Power
Power
Rangers.
Rangers?
Oh,
Yeah.
easily Mystic Force. I grew up on Mystic Force.
Yo, Mystic Force was dope.
Mystic Force was easily my favorite. I don't it and it's just I'm like, okay, it was just magic and shit, and like and the suits were badass and the
The suit
transformations and
was so
everything. Oh, it was fantastic. It's like one of my
Oh my god,
that
the
show.
capes!
Yeah, even now, man, that show, dude, I love that show so fucking much that
Dude,
I nailed down the codes and the numbers, and I had the
yes,
morpho and everything. I nailed it all. I nailed the saying and
yes,
everything. I was so into that show. I had the costume I wore for Halloween. I went to Red Ranger, Green Ranger. I think only the two of them. I might have went as the Yellow Ranger once.
Bro,
But
and
dude, I
then
love that
spoiler
show.
alert for anyone who hasn't watched it. When we found out who the purple guy was.
Oh yeah.
And then the Red Ranger turned into him. Oh my god,
dude, I remember that shit. Oh my god.
cool. What a
It's
plot
like
twist.
it was a crazy plot twist. It was like,
And then Red Ranger became him.
oh yeah, dude, it was fucking insane. It was like, oh my.
That was so cool.
As a little kid, it like blew my mind, my little mind.
Bro,
I was like,
the season finale was 4 parts.
yeah, I know. That's how good that show was. It needed 4 parts to finish it, and it was all perfect.
Oh my!
I might need to. I'll probably rewatch it soon. I'll find a way. I'll rewatch it.
It's
I don't
on
care.
Netflix. No, it's not on Netflix anymore.
No,
Damn.
they took it all. They took all the Power Rangers off, and I'm like, you bastards.
Yeah, I think my favorite. I think it's between RPM and SPD.
Oh, I loved RPM. RPM was so good.
So good, dude.
That was one of the ones that I rewatched like randomly out of nowhere. And when I was like older, like I think it was like 2019, I rewatched it, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, why the hell not? So I rewatched it.
I loved RPM. It was so heavily plot focused, and I
know it was,
that.
which I actually really, which I was really surprised for Power Rangers show. And then that was like one of the last really good Power Rangers shows, because then we got Samurai after.
Yeah, right after that was Samurai.
Samurai was good. I really enjoyed Samurai. Super Samurai was okay.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, Samurai's the one that I grew up on.
Like, I know. I grew up on Samurai too, but I mostly grew up on like Mystic Force and stuff.
Yeah. That's when Netflix Force came, and then I was like, "What? There's more Power Rangers?"
Way more Power
and me and
Rangers.
my little brother binge watched like all of them except for some of the older ones. I think we skipped out on Time Force, which I regret.
Time Force was a good one. I really enjoyed Time Force.
Yeah, I always heard good things. We skipped out on. I don't know if you ever saw the Alien one.
I think I watched like one episode of it, but I never cared about it. I'm just like, Alien Rangers? Nah, it's not that.
It was just Zeo, but you can't understand anything they say.
Basically,
like
Zeo was way better.
Zeo was cool. Zeo was dope.
The sequel to Mighty Morphin, good follow up.
Yeah.
Turbo was great too.
Turbo was dope. And then the kid made no sense because he got big, but you know.
Yeah, but he wasn't big. He was still a kid. I don't know.
He was still a kid, but he had. It was so weird.
What's funny is that it was a movie that introduced that show.
Yeah, that was cool.
And the movie was top tier cinema.
Oh yeah.
So was the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie. Top tier cinema, right there.
Yeah, it was really good. And then, oh my gosh, the
Dino
RPM.
Thunder.
Oh, Dino Thunder. That's a good one.
I love Dino Thunder too. I think that's like my second favorite. But yeah, no, RPM was a great show, and I mean,
it's funny because like you go back and they have a lot of attention to detail with that show.
They did. Dude, we know at the end. That I don't want to spoil RPM, but the one plot twist with the scientist chick and how like this whole thing started and everything.
Yeah.
And how it happened. Yeah, dude. I was like, oh shit. And I'm like, oh, so it was you. Okay. Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
I was
dude,
like, shit.
Even at the beginning. Okay, at the beginning, there's a scene where Black and Green are in a car driving to the city together, right? And it's literally the first episode, and one of the people who are reading like the scan or whatever, they go, "There's a car approaching," and he's like, "How many people are there?" And he goes, "It's reading 1.5." And at first I thought that was a jab at Green because he's like so small.
Oh yeah.
But actually, it was plot.
Yeah, it was plot. It was plot. The whole time
they Black's a robot.
Yeah, Black was a robot, and I'm like, how in the what? I was like, Black is a what now? Black's a robot? And I was like, what the shit?
A robot. He was a cyborg.
He was a cyborg. I don't know who created him though. Was it this?
He got kidnapped by the robot, him and his sister, and then his sister got turned full robot.
Yeah, because the sister is that one girl, right?
The villain.
Yeah,
was
the villain with the weird
glasses. The right hand man. Yeah, with like the visor thing.
Yeah,
that was dope. Man, that was cool.
It's really like kind of build up. They really paid attention. They knew what they were doing. So we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit, and then it was gonna be in the veil, and then you look back on it, and you're like, oh,
yo, dude, so cool. And then that was one of the very few series to have 2 Special Rangers.
Because normally the gold and the
gold and silver.
Well, green
That
was
was interesting.
green was kind of a special one too, but mostly
Well,
green. Kind of. It was
the
mostly just
thing, yeah,
original team.
the thing is that it's always Power Rangers always starts either with 3 or 5 Rangers. That's always how it is. And if it's
Yeah,
3, then the
it's
green
green,
and
green, green and black are
green and
special.
gold.
Green and
Yeah,
gold
green, black,
usually.
and gold or silver or whatever the
Purple
special is.
too. Purple wild Jungle Fury.
Dude, Wild Force or Jungle Fury,
Jungle
Jungle
Fury.
Fury.
Yeah,
Oh
Jungle
my
Fury had
god.
the Wolf Ranger and the Rhino Ranger, and they
Yeah.
also had the
Oh, that's so cool.
they also had the other 3 Rangers: the Shark, the Elephant, and the Bat.
Yeah, they weren't Rangers though. They were like special Zords.
Yeah, somewhat or something. But
Yeah, it's because
the
they
thing
had
is, the
the
actual but the persons existed because they had those
yeah.
abilities.
Yeah, the Masters
Yeah, the
were
masters
separate.
but they weren't the
That
actual
was such a
Rangers.
good way to do that. Yeah, that was so cool. Oh my god, bro! Wild Force had the wolf too. He was like
Yeah, Wild
gray.
Force. Yeah, he had a Silver Wolf.
That was so cool. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, they definitely went the special range. We can do a whole episode just ranking the special rangers
Special
and
Rangers.
every single ranger, but that would take like 3 hours
Yeah, that would.
because there would be
that
so much
take a while.
confliction. There would be like, wait, no, this ranger was really good. Wait, no, fuck, we forgot about this guy.
Okay, hold on, wait. I don't remember. Did Super Mega Force? Did they ever use RPM Rangers?
I think like once probably.
That
Maybe.
doesn't make sense because canonically, RPM is an alternate universe.
Oh yeah, no, well. So did they?
Yeah,
ever
because
use...
remember the samurai.
I remember the samurai
RPM
episode. He
crossover?
like showed up, and
Yeah, he shows up from another dimension
the thing is, the character never took off his helmet because they couldn't get they
because he
couldn't.
couldn't breathe.
Yeah, they can breathe,
It was
but
like the air
did
was
they
weird.
actually? They didn't get the actual actor though to come back.
Probably not.
No.
I think they got him for like a voice, but he probably couldn't do the whole thing.
Scheduling conflict probably, but they got him to the
Probably.
voice. But they explained it because he had a different. He couldn't breathe in that air.
Yeah,
So
I mean
he's more acclimated.
that's fair. Yeah, so it's the fact that they're
So it
like, oh
works.
yeah, we can just turn into this ranger, because the guy, whatever his freaking name was, the Gordon of that, he was like, you can turn into any Power Ranger seen on this earth before, but twice now, I guess, if we consider that
Yeah, see, they
RPM is an
did,
alternate
though.
timeline. Because that one time they also became Rangers, and he was like, this has never been seen before on Earth. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But then they became RPM, which would make no sense. I don't know.
Yeah,
Sorry,
they
potholes.
did become RPM because the RPM is a part of the intro.
Yeah,
And
you're
they done it.
right.
They did become RPM.
Yeah, that's an interesting plot hole.
Oh yeah, and I remember when because I remember the Silver Ranger. Yeah, I remember the Silver Ranger. He became both gold and silver in one
Yeah,
episode.
you're right. Oh
They
my
did become
god.
RPM. So that's what's crazy. It's an alternate universe, yet
It is an
they're still
alternate
RPM
universe.
Rangers. Is it because?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense because it's the morphing grid, right?
Yeah, it's the morphing grid. So anybody who's been in the
Morphing
morphing
grid
grid is
transcends
still
everything, yeah.
transcends everything. So it's like and
That's
the
cool.
comics get into it like way more, honestly.
God,
Because there's
comics
Power
are
Rangers comics right now, and like those, I've heard everything that's going on there, and it's absolute insanity. Like
Jeez,
it's
dude.
insane. Like Jesus, I don't want to get into it, but it's a lot.
Yeah. Okay. What else did you? We can move on to. I think
Move
cartoon.
on from Power Rangers. Jesus, me and him just went a whole rant of how much we love Power Rangers and how cool it was. What else? The old school Nickelodeon, like Courage the Cowardly Dog,
Oh yeah.
Chowder.
No. Courage was Cartoon Network.
Yeah, that's what I said. Cartoon Network.
Oh, I think you said Nick.
No, I didn't say that. It was Cartoon Network. You probably heard the rec part only. Maybe. I don't know. But no, Cartoon Network, old school Cartoon Network.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
The original
school
Cartoon
Cartoon
Network,
Network
not like new Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
But the
New
new-
Cartoon Network needs to figure it out.
It all lost when regular show left.
Yeah. Regular show Adventure Time. I think I liked Steven Universe. I don't know about you, but
I
was
never
only-
really cared about it. Right?
It was a good show.
No, I heard things about it. I just never cared to watch it. But
Yeah, that's fair.
no, my one of my favorite shows watching was Regular Show.
Yeah.
I loved Regular Show.
Yeah.
And
What happened was me and this,
I
like-
seen bits and pieces. I seen a few episodes of Adventure Time when they first aired and
Yeah.
stuff. And then
Yeah, I
The
think
Amazing World
I
of
would
Gumball.
choose- Oh, that show is a gem. That show is still one of the best.
Amazing World of Gumball is a really great show still.
Really good. They really know how to do self-aware, but
Oh,
not
yeah,
make
no.
it annoying.
Yeah, but like it all works well. Foster's
Yeah.
Home for Imaginary Friends.
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
Dang.
That was a good show too. The Grim Adventures of Bill and Mandy.
Yeah, Bill and Mandy is so
Bill,
good.
Bill and Mandy, I watched every now and then.
Bro, Flapjack?
Oh, The Adventures of Flapjack.
This Adventures of Flapjack,
oh,
yo.
Dude, that is old school. Dude, fucking Ben 10, Generator Rex.
OG, yeah. Oh my god, Generator Rex.
Dude, I remember Generator Rex. I remember the crossover they did. That's old school.
Oh my god.
Yeah, The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. I loved Flapjack.
Bro, that was
Flapjack was such the weirdest yet greatest show ever. It was all about Candy Island.
It had all the best parts of Adventure Time and regular show at the same time.
Exactly. Like, the weirdness, the humor, all of it. It was just...
Yeah, it had like the I guess it was like the humor and sort of attitude that Adventure Time had while showing the like really weird parts that regular show kind of had.
Yeah, and it all worked so well because the show was just fantastic.
Oh my gosh, that was such a good show.
Dude.
I actually recently I was talking with my friends and we went back and found it on like an illegal website and watched an episode. It was nice.
Yeah, right when Uncle Grandpa came out is when it all went to shit.
Uncle Grandpa was not my thing.
Right when Uncle Grandpa came out, it all went to shit.
Yeah.
Actually, no, right when regular show left. Yeah, exactly when regular show left, it all went to shit. Although the show, I don't know if you know this. There was a show called We Bear Bears.
Yeah.
That was
I love that show.
That was a good show. That I can admit. That show was actually pretty fucking fire. That was a good show.
What about when Cartoon Network went through that weird live action phase? Like Destroy Build Destroy, Do What Would Happen.
Yep. I remember this.
Hole in the Wall?
Yep, I remember that.
Dude, okay, everyone hates on them, but I actually legitimately loved those shows. Like, I didn't
really watch them, so I don't really have like a full opinion about those shows.
You need to go watch Destroy Build Destroy on YouTube after this because it's so cool.
Yeah, I knew about Destroy Build Destroy. I think I probably saw like one episode of that, but I knew about that. I knew about Destroy Build Destroy before.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, dude, what happened was not as cool. I liked it because I'm a freaking nerd, but
do you remember that the Looney Tunes cartoon show, the more modern version where
where they turned Lola Bunny into like a blonde?
Yep.
Yeah. I was okay with that show.
I probably need to watch it because it was good. I've seen clips.
Yeah, I remember.
The Transformer. Did you ever watch that Transformer animated series?
No, I never got into that.
I watched that. That's like old school for me.
Yeah, I was never into the Power Rangers stuff. Wait, I thought that was the Hub.
What was? I think it was, but the Transformers animated was on the old school Cartoon Network as well.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. You know my Codename King Next Door?
Yo! Dude, that show is so cool.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember this. Oh, and of course, the Clone Wars. That's old school too.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, the Clone Wars. I never finished. I never finished any of these shows.
I always finished like shows like Ben 10 and stuff.
Yeah.
Ben 10 was Ben 10's old school Cartoon Network, and that was like one of my favorite shows growing up. I remember when the sequel for Alien Force was happening. It was the same year. Yeah. It was the same year, like literally a few days after original series ended. Ben 10 Alien Force was happening, and I got ready for. I was like, holy shit!
Happening.
I sat there in my living room and I waited for the episode to drop, and I was like so excited, and I watched it on air. It was amazing.
Yeah, or like classic Teen Titans. Oh man.
Oh, old school Teen Titans, not whatever the fuck Teen Titans Go is.
Bro, I had the GameCube game for Teen Titans. That game is so good.
Nice.
That game is so good. Okay, what's a show that you're really embarrassed you enjoyed? Gotta get a little spicy in here.
Shit. Shows like, well, I mean, there's shows like on Nickelodeon and stuff, like, you know, like shows that I love, like iCarly, Victorious, and Drake and Josh. But I'm not, I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed by those because those shows are like masterpieces in
those are top tier.
Those are top tier, like shows. I don't know really. There's not much like many shows. I mean, I could probably tell you one. But what about you though? What about you?
Okay, so this is really embarrassing, but I was super into My Little Pony.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Dude, I, dude, that show, legitimately. I got into the fandom because it was all over YouTube. Like they were everywhere, the bronies, right?
Oh, I remember
Um,
those times.
yeah, so
Old
they were
times.
everywhere, and I was so intrigued by this fandom, and they were making so much cool stuff and all this artwork and these videos and the music. That's where I got into Living Tombstone, the guy who made all the FNAF songs. He
Yeah.
used to make brony shit.
Oh, he did he?
Yeah, that's where the Discord that's like viral on TikTok right now. That's where
Oh,
it comes
yeah.
from. And so I was super into this fandom, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try the show, and the show is it's really entertaining. Like
I
it's a
never
show for little
really.
girls, but it's enjoyable.
Yeah, I knew about it. I just never kind of like, I
Yeah,
never watched it because I was like, no, not my thing.
yeah. Most guys didn't because of course, why am I gonna watch a show for little girls? But I mean, dude,
You were just like, screw
especially
it.
like yeah, especially later on, it started getting better because now they know their fan base a little better, so they can and they have inside jokes and stuff that they can make.
Nice. So they just kind of
So
went with
it
it. They
got
kind of
really
like, oh, why
good.
don't we mess around?
Yeah, there's one episode. It's called Slice of Life, where the main characters are not in it except for like one scene, and the entire episode is about fan favorite side characters, and it's
Oh,
so good. It's so good. Yeah, I enjoyed that show. It's over. I finished it. I watched the entire thing.
there was a whole thing of it.
It was 5 seasons
Fucking hell!
and several movies.
I thought it was still going.
No. It
If I'm
finished.
being honest,
They're moving on to Generation 5,
that's.
which I don't know what they're
I'm
gonna do with it. But
surprised My Little Pony is still going.
yeah, the Brony fandom is done. Though they had their last BronyCon recently, actually.
Oh, they decided to end it all.
Yeah, because it's they weren't. It's sort of dying down now, and the show's over. So
Yeah, it went
uh,
real wild back in the day.
yeah, the last BronyCon had the biggest attendance ever, though. So that's wholesome.
Oh,
That's nice.
that's nice at least. They,
I mean,
they
other
was,
than the pedophiles, but there are a lot.
fuck.
Dude, they're selling body pillows of the child characters in public. Like, bro,
Oh
I don't.
no. Oh
We don't
no.
need that, man.
I don't need that either, man. No, yeah, no, but there wasn't really a show that I was like ever embarrassed that I watched, like growing up
Yeah,
at all. It was not. It's mostly because I only watched like the superhero shows and like anything like
yeah.
cartoon wise. So there wasn't really much that I was like embarrassed about. But I mean, you can say that like when someone would ask me, oh well, you know what? Here, let's dive into Disney Channel now.
Oh yeah.
Disney
Oh man.
Channel. Yeah. If you want to say embarrassed, then I could say something for this.
All right. Let's hear it.
I have to go back because I know there was one. I think probably Austin and Ally was pretty.
Oh, I
Austin
liked
and Ally
Austin
was
and
something I
Ally.
watched.
Yeah, I liked that show though. It was
Good
cute.
Luck
Like, I
Charlie.
mean,
Good Luck Charlie was pretty good too.
Good Luck Charlie
Yeah,
slapped.
I'm not really embarrassed by it. I'm just kind of like, I watched them because I said,
Yeah,
why the hell not?
yeah, dude. Oh my god, dude. You know how bad it feels. You know how like late night Disney they used to show like throwbacks, like
Oh
That's So
yeah,
Raven,
throwback stuff.
and like
Yeah, I remember
yeah,
that.
dude. Right now the throwbacks are Austin and Ally.
Oh,
We're old, man.
oh, oh God.
It hurts. It feels
when
bad,
when
man.
when it throws back to a show you grew up on, you're just like, oh my
Yeah.
God, no.
It's like, dude, how you gonna do that, man? How you gonna do me like that?
I'm like, oh, that's painful. That hurts.
Yeah, bro, Zach and Cody. I didn't
Oh,
watch.
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Yeah, I didn't watch like the original as much, but On Deck was
On
my
Deck was
thing.
the shit.
Yeah,
Dude, Phineas and Ferb.
oh, bro, you don't even gotta say it.
Nah.
You don't even gotta
All
say
all
it.
you have to say, all we have to say is Phineas and Ferb. That's it.
For real,
Oh,
dude.
what?
Oh my god,
3 words, and that's it.
bro. Kick Butowski,
Oh, yeah. Kick
bro.
Tusky, dude. Oh,
Yes.
hands down, one of the best animated cartoons ever. I don't give a
God.
crap what anybody else says. I love that show with a passion. It is so
They
much fun.
knew
It
they
is
knew how to
everything.
base comedy on their characters.
Dude,
Oh
it
my
was just
god.
perfect. And the funny thing is, Kick was actually a good stuntman. I mean, he was kid still, and he still messed up a lot and got hurt, but he was still really good at it. But he was still pretty good at it. But the antics he got in with Gunther and all that shit in the store and all that, yeah. Oh yeah.
Bro, every time they used to bring in like the Vikings and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's when shit got hype. I was like, oh, here we go. It's gonna be a good episode.
That was that good stuff.
Because then Kick would try to do something, and I'm like, oh god. I'm like, here we go. Here we go. Let's do this. Come on. Let's get this rolling.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Kick Buttowski so much, and I putting on that intro and everything. Oh, amazing. Oh, and a show I didn't watch much of, but I did watch a little bit was Gravity Falls.
Oh my god, dude! You need to.
I know. Trust me. I've seen like multiple episodes of Gravity Falls like every now and then, and I think one thing I did love about watching that show is how dark it kind of went at times and how creepy it was. I was like, this is a Disney cartoon show and it's dark. Hell yeah! So I'm like, this is great. Good. I'm like, I'm sure like some parents are like, oh my god, Gravity Falls. It's like too dark for my kids. I'm like, okay. I'm like. Well. It really wasn't though, but it was. It was. Gravity Falls is a good show. I'll definitely like one of these days I'll be watching. Obviously, because it's like
there's a show recently that has similar vibes. I don't know if you've heard of the Owl House, but it has that sort of.
That's what I have on my phone right now. The Owl House.
Yeah. It's got that similar sort of vibe that Gravity Falls had with like the mystery and I think it has a lot of potential.
Oh, there's some...
Season 2 is airing right now, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to find... did you ever watch the show Lab Rats at all?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, I loved Lab Rats. I literally rewatched that whole show, not recently, but back in 2019, actually. Oh, probably 2018,
Bro,
I think it was.
Mighty Med?
The entire thing. Oh, Mighty Med!
Mighty Med!
Oh! Dude. Fuck, man. That show... Oh, yeah.
Oh, god.
Mighty Med, man. Mighty goddamn Med.
Those were some good child actors. I think those two were really good.
That was a great show. Kicking It,
yo!
Kicking It was also something I really rewatched too, and that was a fantastic show.
Oh my god.
Kicking It was a fantastic show growing up on. I was like, yes. And now those are flashback shows.
Because they're all throwback
Those are all throwback shows, and I'm old. I'm 18, but I'm like, seeing that these are throwback shows, I'm like,
yeah, it's like, man, that hurts.
I'm like, thanks for making me feel old when I'm only 18. Appreciate it, Disney. Really appreciate it.
Oh, man.
But I think what's really sad is that, to end, is there anything else you want to say about your favorite childhood shows? We kind of hit the Nickelodeon, we hit all of it. Also, one thing we didn't mention was SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, I think it goes without saying.
Yeah, true, honestly. It does. But SpongeBob SquarePants, it's like same thing with Phineas and Ferb. SpongeBob SquarePants. No, I think growing up with like all these shows and stuff, time back then was really like less sensitive and more open to stuff. And now we have a bunch of shows that are like not good at all, and they try to they try to fit with the times, and they try to like they make your kids feel like idiots when you shouldn't, because that's not how it like what it's like. I know they're young, but like don't make them feel stupid.
Like Gravity Falls was popular when we were in what was it, like just getting into middle school?
Yeah, it was around middle school
like,
times.
Dude, if these 11-year-olds can watch a show with such a deep mystery like that, what's the problem?
Yeah, like, and now you have all these shows that try too hard to fit what's going on now, and like try to not cross that line that social media had decided to like push 20 meters back because was too sensitive to handle a child show. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, it's a kid's show. It's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to take your mind off things. It's supposed to help you relax and just have some fun for like 30 minutes, 20 minutes. And now all these shows are like just way over the top with comedy, bad comedy, because they can't do certain things and certain topics.
Boss baby.
Yep. And there's other, and it's just like, why can't we just make a good show that's funny for kids and kids will love, and that adults will love too, dude.
Yeah, child edgy humor.
Exactly. I'm gonna be like in my 20s, and I'm gonna look back at like half these shows, like Kicking It, Lab Rats, SpongeBob SquarePants, Phineas and Ferb, a bunch of these shows that we've talked about, like Power Rangers especially, and be like, it maybe can be, but my God, do I love it, because it's hilarious and it's dumb, and it knows what it is.
It knows what it is, and it takes that in stride.
Exactly. It takes advantage of it. Shows don't do that now. Shows think they're funny as hell when they're not, and they don't take advantage of it. They just ruin their show.
Yeah, they need to.
That was the big thing with Uncle Grandpa. It tried to be a mix of regular show, Adventure Time, and Flapjack, all thrown in one, and it just did not work. It
just didn't.
Because
it was too much.
It was just way too much weirdness, and you can't have that in a show. And obviously, some weird shows can pull that off. Flapjack had a shit ton of weirdness, but it worked.
Yeah.
It knew how to do it because it had good writers. And
it had good writers, and it fit the characters.
Exactly.
Like, it made sense.
Yeah. If Flapjack was out now, it would be getting canceled because it says something dumb. And it says something funny, and people apparently don't like it. And I'm like, okay, why?
There's a scene in one of the early episodes where they're like bragging about, the whale is so fast, and they meet this inventor, and he's like, look at my mechanical whale. It's powered by 37 juvenile delinquents.
Yep.
It's literally just like forced child labor, and it's so funny.
Exactly, and I'm like, it's hilarious, and it knows what it's doing. It knows it's, and the thing is, that it knows it's doing something wrong, because when they do something like that, they're like, oh, we gotta save these guys. They're not doing it on purpose, like, oh, we're just gonna let that happen. No, they're gonna go save them because that's what they do. But at the same time, you're just kind of like, and then now if that happened and they still like ran the same episode, exact same what happened, people would be like, oh no, because it was child labor.
Child labor? No, thank you.
Nope.
But dude, that joke hit, and it hit so well. It hit a lot.
It hit well because it knew what it was doing. It knew what it was saying.
The best part was that it carried it throughout it. Like, he's like, oh, at the end, it's a photo finish, but obviously it's pirate time, so they don't have cameras. So he's like, oh, well, I guess we'll just have to check and see with my image, whatever. I don't remember what he called it. And it's like this camera, and he opens the back, and it's a kid in there just drawing. Like, that's the camera. Perfect. And he's like, and they're all like dirty and scuffed.
Yeah, I know.
Like, oh my God.
It hit well, but then even then they knew what it was, and then now people would be like, oh, it's child labor. I'm like, dude, it's a cartoon. Chill the hell out.
Man.
It's honestly, I'm glad I grew up in a time where these shows were great, and my kids are gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna buy like streaming services and all that shit. I'm like, we're not buying DirecTV. You're gonna watch these shows, and you're gonna learn from them because no.
Yeah, for sure.
Do I know what's gonna be on? One thing. Do I know what's gonna be on those times? No idea. But I don't want them to watch that. Whatever's gonna be on.
Yeah. I mean, unless like something happens and there's like a renaissance of cartoons and animation, like it's not gonna happen.
Like one full-on renaissance of just people like, why don't we like throw like one big convention with a bunch of like favorite cartoons and everything,
dude,
where we can all watch them together. That's something
we need.
One Renaissance cartoon fair where we realize the times that we were in, and we realize why are we so serious now.
Yeah, why is it? What happened?
Because these childhood cartoons raised us. But the thing is, those people forgot those childhood cartoons, and I look back at them like, oh, they're dumb. I'm like, they're not dumb because they taught us stuff.
Exactly.
Obviously, they told us what to do and what not to do in the most dumbest ways possible, and it actually worked. And now I'm like, looking back on this, I'm like, oh yeah, those shows were fantastic. They were amazing, no matter when or where I watch them. No, fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, I know we need to move on, but like, there's like, they tackled a lot, especially Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network was not afraid to tackle some
No. Cartoon Network really went out too.
Like, oh my God, dude. Okay, there's this scene where, in Adventure Time, there's an episode where Finn is like struggling. I guess, I mean, realistically, he's just horny. Like, that's the subject of the episode. So he like goes around and he's like kissing a bunch of princesses, and he like feels empty, and then he, they don't show it, of course, but it's very well suggested that he has sex with Lumpy Space Princess. And like it's like looking back, it's like, yeah, that's what happened. You can't look at that scene and go, no, they didn't. No, that's what happened. And it's an issue that a lot of teens are dealing with. It's
Yeah,
like they feel
exactly.
empty and they feel like that's what's gonna fix them.
But it's not,
But
because
yeah,
you
exactly. The
don't.
show showed
Yeah,
them
it showed them that, and it showed that you don't need a relationship to be happy. You can have your friends, and you can be happy.
that's not what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a big issue. That's a really, really like high age issue
Mm-hmm.
to be tackling. But
And people just ignore it because it's a kids show, and I'm like, okay, great.
yeah, I mean, it's well, people are afraid to look at that and go, yeah, we should talk about
I
that
just
kind
I
of thing.
just throw my hands up, and I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, like Steven Universe dealt with a lot of like, sexuality stuff, which
Yeah, I
is
heard.
good because
Yeah,
at the time that was relevant, and it wasn't about like, oh, you need to respect everyone's sexuality, like, I mean, I guess it was partly, but part of it was also like relationship stuff. Like in the show, there's a lot of different types of relationships and issues where the characters are dealing with their
yeah,
relationships,
yeah.
and
I
that's
think
advice that teens needed to hear.
Yeah, I think old school Steven Universe, like when it first started, it was good, and then I think now that
Yeah,
since everything's changed and stuff, I guess everything's changed.
yeah,
It had to like change its own narrative, and it had to be more like different, and they kind of ruined the whole aspect of what it was originally learning a bit. I'm assuming, I don't really know, but I've heard bad things about it because a lot of people don't like it, and I don't
honestly,
enjoy it as much
I think
as
people
well.
hate it because it's like, oh, it's LGBTQ. Like that's just, I mean, Steven Universe is, it's not focused, but I mean, there's a lot of sexuality stuff in it, like in regards to LGBT, and the fandom is very LGBT. But like honestly, the show I don't think it got bad. I think it only got better. Like, because then after a while, it started dealing with a lot of more plot based stuff,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and that's when it started getting heavy, and it
yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah.
it's the all of the I think the 5 seasons of the show, and then the movie, and then there's an epilogue series, Steven Universe Future,
Oh yeah, I know
and
about that.
Steven Universe Future is like heavy, like, oh my god, it's heavy,
Mm.
and I loved it.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
so I
yeah.
think we can move on now.
Yeah, we have to move on. So we literally went on a long rant of just talking about childhood favorite cartoons, and see, that's what's fun. We always we
Yeah,
talk about a topic, and then we end up talking about all this stuff, and
yeah, it's great.
that's great. All right, so the next topic we want to talk about is our favorite bands,
Yeah,
because
so
music is what also builds us as well.
yeah, so me and you have an interesting like duality in taste of music because like
But
when I first met you, at least,
yeah,
you were very like heavy metal rock kind of
yeah, I
thing.
can read off my playlist right now if you wanted me to. We can both read
Yeah,
them
go
off a little
ahead.
bit. Give me like a second.
Yeah, just like maybe some of the bands.
You can continue
Yeah, so
while I'm
like,
looking at
and
it.
I was when I came into it, I was also like punk rock more as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to like the heavy
Yeah, I know
metal type
that.
of thing. Punk rock, alt, emo stuff, because that's just what I was into.
Yeah, and I mean I'm
Um,
doing that.
yeah, and then now it's a little different because like you're more okay with the more poppy stuff.
I
Um,
think it takes me a second because
yeah,
you can continue for a second, and then I'll read off my playlist, and I'll kind of
yeah,
explain a little bit more.
and then I've realized that I'm just all over the place. I'll listen to anything that isn't country, honestly.
Yeah, anything that isn't country. I think we both can agree on that. Anything that isn't really
Yeah,
country and K-pop. I don't really like K-pop.
it's okay. There's some good stuff there.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from now, but I'm over here. I'm like, no, not K-pop. Anyways,
That's fair.
so I have my Spotify playlist. I have 3 playlists. I have my 2 album playlist. One that is 103 hours and 57 minutes, and the second one is 21 hours and 12 minutes. And then I have my regular playlist with a bunch of songs that I just love from like a bunch of bands. That is 9 hours and 29 minutes. So
Jeez.
like my first playlist has like Foo Fighters, AC/DC, a band called the Struts,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
Bon Jovi, the Beatles, a band called Fox Shazam,
Oh wow.
a lot of hard rock, and some of these bands I have Neon Trees on here because I love Neon Trees.
Yeah. Yeah. The MP
Their
slaps.
album Picture Show is fantastic, and I don't give a shit what anybody says. The first album is great too, and I'm like, nah, it's good shit. Band called Vivid Clyro, definitely not like they're not heavy metal, they're more hard rock, but they got a little metal they go around. But they're fantastic
Yeah.
band. I suggest you give them a listen if you really want to.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'll go check them out.
Band called Aerosmith I have on here. Billy Joel, if you do not know who he is, which
Oh,
I'm sure you
bro.
do. Fosters the People I have on here. Obviously, The Killers, only the first three
Oh,
albums,
of course, of
and
course.
a little bit of the last two albums that they did. Fall Out Boy, only their one, two, three, four, first four albums, and a little bit of
Okay.
the other two. Not counting
Mhm.
Mania, I don't like that album.
What?
I didn't like Mania. It was way too like they. For me, Fall Out Boy sold out for me, and I'm like they just went out. I
I
don't
mean,
like
that's fair.
I don't like
Yeah,
what Fall Out Boy's doing anymore. I don't.
that's fair.
I have like a band called Airborne on here, and I love Airborne's like AC/DC but on steroids.
Oh my
I have
God.
Paul McCartney on here. I have a band called The Darkness, Muse, Def Leppard, Queen, a shit ton of Queen. I love Queen. Michael
Yeah, who doesn't?
Jackson, Iron Maiden, Cody and Cambria. Dude, I have so much like band called Steely Dan. I mean,
Ooh.
My Chemical Romance. I got a little bit on here. Huey Lewis and the News. White Reaper. You should check out White Reaper. You'll actually enjoy them.
Yeah, I'll check them out.
They do not sound as heavy as the name suggests. Rush. Jesus.
Ooh, Rush.
Cheap Trick. Every Cheap Trick. I love Cheap Trick. Motley Crue. Patrick Stump solo album. Band called The Winery Dogs. Poison. Phil Collins. Extreme. Kiss. That's the first playlist. And then on my second, I got Van Halen. I got the Dead Daisies. They're a rock band. Jellyfish. Check out Jellyfish too. Anybody listen to Jellyfish? Jellyfishes. They have like two albums, and both albums are like masterpieces. I was just like, holy hell. Sticks. I got Sticks on here. I got and then I
Yeah.
got 21 Pilots. And I
Yeah.
got Wingo. And I got Tenacious D, which is Jack Black.
Ooh, yeah, Jack Black and the other
Kyle
actor that no one
Gass.
remembers, unfortunately. Yeah, there
Yeah,
he is.
it was just Jack Black and Kyle Gass, and they have the band. I love Tenacious D.
Yeah,
It's
they're
comedy
funny.
mixed with good music, and I love it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so
those are like both my plays. Those are like all the bands I listen to, basically.
yeah, I've got a couple playlists. I tend to just like play my liked playlist because obviously it's everything I like. But I have
Yeah, I
um
mix between like all three. Like my other one has like Panic at the Disco on it, Tears for Fears,
yeah.
Sabbath, got like a bunch of like songs that I've heard in like shows and stuff that I add to my
Mhm.
playlist, and I just love these a bunch of songs, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So I have a bunch of I have like really weirdly specific playlist names. Like I have my liked songs, and then I have pop, which is
Oh, you got
pop
like
is
weird names for
literally
your
just
playlist and stuff, yeah.
yeah. So pop is literally just like I made it so I could play safe nostalgia music in the kitchen at my work all
Yeah.
the time. It's just like safe classic music. And then this is where it gets into like the weirdly specific stuff. I have
This would be fun.
skate hip hop,
Skate? What?
specifically hip hop that gives me a skating vibe.
Oh, great.
I've got the funeral playlist,
What?
music to play at my funeral. I have
Oh, that's great.
masochism.
What?
Masochism
What?
is the name of the playlist.
What the hell's on that playlist?
Songs about pain. So think "Tearing My Heart," 21 Pilots, "Sucker for Pain,"
My heart.
"Weak," AJR.
Oh yeah, okay. Jesus, man.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
I mean, I got a few sad
Um,
songs on my playlist too, like "Cut" and a bunch of other stuff.
yeah. So and then I got the synth playlist. You gotta have the synth playlist.
Yeah.
And then I listen to. I think I discussed this before. I'm a huge anime nerd, so I
Yes.
listen to a lot of J-pop,
I
J-pop
see.
and
Yeah.
J-rock
I gotta be
because
honest.
it slaps.
Recently what was funny is I don't know how, but I heard it was like a Instagram video, and it was a TikTok. It was a weird TikTok that they posted on Instagram, and I was watching a video, and wasn't it TikTok? It might have been. Anyway, so it was this anime theme song that I heard, and I was like, I'm like, okay, I didn't know it was an anime theme song, but it was sounded heavy and fast. I'm like, that's kind of cool. And then I found out what it was, and I looked up the theme, and I'm like, oh, that's
Which
fun. Oh,
do
that's
you remember
actually
which
kind
one
of
it
cool.
was?
I don't even know if I can look. I can probably look it up. Hold on, let me see if we can find it. But it was
Yeah, there's a lot of really good
but
ones.
some anime openings are like pretty absolute. I can at least admit that some anime openings are pretty goddamn fire.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Like
that is
One
like
Punch
that.
Man's opening, you probably like that one.
I'll probably
One
listen to
Punch
that
Man
one.
is just like super heavy metal, like screamo. It's so man, it goes hard. But yeah, so my playlist, my artists, I listen to Mainly, I have every single song by 21 Pilots because God, I love them. They are masters of
They
music.
are a good
Like
band. They do know what they're doing.
they really do. Like if anyone who listened back in 2017 to their freaking, obviously Ride and Stressed Out, everyone knows those songs for a reason.
Yeah, for a
They were
reason.
top of the charts for a freaking reason. And
Yeah,
the best part is that that's not even their best music.
that's
Like
actually true. That is true.
the Blurry Face album, the whole album with those two songs is so
Yeah,
good.
it is though.
Every single
It is good.
track.
There is a lot of good tracks on now.
Like
And I mean, people obviously will mention if you mention 21 Pilots, you'll get
you get
House of
Stressed Out
Gold,
and
Stressed Down,
Heathens.
and right. But
Yeah.
then there's a bunch of other songs, and the song they keep playing on the radio off the new album Shy Away. I love that song, but
Yeah.
there's a bunch of other songs, guys, that you can play on the
Yeah,
radio. Come on, stations,
if you
let's go.
like those songs, you will love any of their other stuff because it's so good. Like they dropped the ball a bit with Trench. I will admit that it's not
Yeah,
their best
yeah.
work,
We still have to do
but
that video still.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll do
I
that
can
video.
finish.
Whenever we do,
I've totally
whenever we
postponed
do that
that.
video.
Um, but they definitely picked it back up with Scaled and Icy, and like
Oh, they definitely
Vessel
picked it up with
is
Skeleton Icy.
and
Vessel's a great album.
Vessel is so
Oh,
good, man.
okay. Shit, I can't really pronounce it. Noragami Arigato opening theme.
Noragami Arigato. Interesting. I gotta look at
I don't know.
that
I
one.
listened. I don't know how I found the theme, but I found the theme and it just slapped. It's on the Funimation YouTube channel, and I'm just like, oh, wow. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, I knew
I
they
haven't
went
seen this
hard,
one.
but it went hard.
Yeah, that looks like the kind of show that would have that kind of OP. Yeah, dude, anime OPs are great. I listen to a couple
Like,
stuff. I've got some Rage Against the Machine in here.
and they're okay.
There's this little indie rapper called Charlie Curtis Beard, and he's pretty good. I like his vibe.
Yeah.
I listen to a little bit of XXX Tentacion.
Yeah, I've heard
I
about
don't
that
know how you
stuff.
pronounce that, whatever. Eminem. I love Eminem. Logic. That's one.
I've heard some of
Man, I love
Eminem
that.
stuff, and I can agree that Eminem has some good music.
Eminem's he's really good. I got Mine by Bazzi because of course I do. I got some Joji. Ooh, forgot I had him in there. AJR. I like AJR. They're really fun.
Yeah.
Blink 182. Oh man, I love Blink 182.
I've heard most of Blink 182 stuff. It's pretty, they have good music.
Yeah,
I mean, they have the hits, and then there's some other songs that are like, okay, yeah, this is good.
yeah. I think we gotta start wrapping it up.
Soon, yeah. How long we been running
It's
for?
an hour 10 already.
An hour and 10. Jesus. Oh, have you been timing it?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So yeah, that's we'll talk a little bit more about favorite bands for a second here, and then we'll wrap it up. Because how much time you got on you? Do you think?
I probably got a few minutes still.
All right. What's up? Okay, so basically, favorite bands. The reason I love music so much is because growing up, and the reason I kind of strayed on that like hard rock path is because my dad, because he grew up on this stuff, and he was very weird with his music growing up, because he never bought like records and stuff, and he's an idiot for not to. The man was born in 1969. He was alive for like the biggest albums of all time, and he doesn't even own half of them on records. And I'm like, really? You didn't decide to go get it? And he's like, I was weird with my music, man. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. I'm like, I mean, he got some of them like later on, but like there's some records he like just doesn't have. I'm like, you idiot, man. Why didn't you buy them? I'm like, come on, dude.
Yeah,
But
I
no,
have my
and
little
then
record collection now, but
yeah, dude, I got a record collection going on too, because he gave me a bunch of his records that are now mine, but they're ours. I share them with him.
Yeah.
And then I have
Yeah,
a
of
bunch of
course.
records that I've bought for myself that from bands that I love, and I think, but I strayed on that hard rock path. My sister though, she veered off.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was
my sister veered off a bit, and she started listening to a bunch of other shit. Now she's like all out there, but she still loves like a bunch of other bands. But no, music.
Yeah.
I just grew up on this music, and I love music so much, and that's what build my character as well as our childhood shows. They both helped me create me.
Yeah,
It's weird.
they build who you are.
Yeah,
And I was the
exactly.
same way. I was formed by my dad's taste, but my dad's taste is just whatever's on the radio. You know.
Yeah, that's not really a
So
great taste to have. So you kind of had to fend for yourself there, didn't you?
Well, the thing is like obviously I was always into the pop stuff. I
Yeah,
never minded
obviously,
pop,
but so those played on the
So
radio. But you know, there's some
yeah, so
songs that you gotta get into
yeah.
yourself.
So what ended up happening was like my dad was born in like the '80s,
Oh,
so
so he was around for most of the stuff too as well.
so like the punk rock stuff that was
Ah,
when
yep.
he was in the punk rock revival. So Green Day, Yellow Card, Blink-182. That was what when I got to high school, I started listening to all that,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I got into the rock scene a
Yeah,
little bit.
I was always listening to like all this stuff through like middle school and high school and all that stuff, and I
Yeah,
just
so I didn't start getting my own taste in music until right around middle school. Or I guess it must have been just before that because I started that was when I started getting into like the brony stuff. So I
yeah,
started
yeah,
listening to different types of music, and that I got into like dubstep and like the techno stuff, which was interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Like the Living Tombstone, his kind of thing.
Yeah. I
Um,
think yeah, I started developing my own taste after when I was in like freshman year. I started listening to more than just full on hard rock
yeah,
stuff. But I mean, I still listen to it, but I listen to a bunch of other stuff like And now I have my
yeah,
own playlist with a bunch of songs that are totally different from like rock and stuff that are more
yeah,
poppy and like a little more groovy and like jazzy type. And I just
yeah,
and that's just how it works because and that was mostly how because of shows I watch now as well, like How I Met Your Mother
yeah,
and a show called Sex Education on Netflix. Watch that show as well. I'm telling the viewers to watch it as well. And there's a bunch of songs that I've heard off TV and stuff, and like The Office and the show called
yeah,
Chuck, also a fantastic show. And it's all those songs that play on there, and I listen to them like, oh, that's a great song, and then I just listen to them every day. I'm like, oh yeah, no. So it's formed my
yeah,
own taste in music now, and I just kind of listen to them, all over the place too. Some things I
yeah.
stray away from, country and
Yeah,
country and K-pop and a few other things I stay away from because I'm like I don't want to go there. I mean, maybe
yeah.
a
That's
couple country
understandable.
songs, maybe,
The
but
Cars soundtrack, okay, but
yeah, yeah. Life is a Highway, Rascal Flats.
oh yeah. So like, so I had a really weird development of taste in music because like when I got into the brony stuff, my taste in music was like YouTube artists. So
Oh yeah.
like Mando Pony, who he has a couple songs that people know. Living Tombstone, obviously, I keep saying him. Sylvia
Mm.
Hound, she makes some techno stuff. What is it? Living, no, Toaster.
Oh, the Living Toaster.
Can't remember her name.
Okay.
No. It was like something toaster,
Something Toaster.
wooden toaster.
Wooden
That's what it
Toaster.
was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. She was big on the YouTube scene.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then eventually, when I got to middle school, I started getting into rap and stuff. So I got
Oh,
into
and all that
Eminem
stuff.
and like Dr. Dre
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
Snoop Dogg, all that kind of thing. And that was my hip hop phase, which I still like all that music because who doesn't like Notorious B.I.G.? Like, come on,
I've heard some of that stuff.
bro.
Some of it.
Love that guy. Big Papa. So good. Anyways,
Mm.
and then after middle school, I started getting into that emo rock
Yep.
phase because
Yeah.
angsty teen, here
Yeah.
we go.
That's what you were freshman year.
Yeah,
You looked
yeah.
like an angsty
Freshman year,
teen.
I was super into the emo stuff.
Yep.
My Chemical
Angsty
Romance
teen.
was my jam. Fallout Boy,
Yep.
Yellow Card.
Throw some
What was
Panic at
it?
the Disco in there as well.
Yeah, Panic at the Disco, the older stuff, not
Yeah.
the
Oh,
newer
yep.
stuff.
Older stuff, obviously.
Death of the
I'm
Bachelor,
glad we
though,
agree on that.
I did like Death of the Bachelor. I have to admit.
There was some good songs in there. I admit that
Um,
too. But yeah, it's
and
some of the
then
new stuff is just okay. Anyways, yeah.
yeah,
Go.
and then after that, dang, um, after that, I think that's when I started delving into like the more pop stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got into 21 Pilots, which they're more pop. Some of their songs, they're like all pop. Um, some of their songs are a little more pop, or some songs
More
like
pop.
Jumpsuit, I would
Yeah, yeah.
argue, is a little
Jumpsuit.
more rock.
It is
Then
the
yeah,
before the like the of first verse and chorus and stuff. It's a lot more. It's
yeah,
heavy as hell,
heavy dude, love
which I
that.
liked, as I did
Yeah,
like, and I wish they kept it for the whole song. That
bro,
heaviness.
whenever he screams, he goes
Yeah, when he
crazy.
screams, it hurts my throat, and I'm like, how?
Dude, it's
Like
so
Jesus,
good. And
dude.
then yeah, so recently I've been getting into the more pop stuff around the sort of like Tonal Pilots, like AJR. I love AJR. I've been getting into I don't know how, but they found me, which I guess is a little bit getting more into like the emo scene, but it's more current emo
Yeah, yeah,
than
yeah, and all that stuff.
like early 2000s
Yeah,
emo.
yeah,
I don't know how, but they found me is They're a great band.
Man.
They're not as heavy as they sound.
Yeah, I know. Same thing about like right, so it's like funny because one more thing we'll talk about, and then we gotta end this. But not to disregard anything you said, because you're talking about this stuff just shows how much you love music, and me talking about it shows how much we both love music. But one thing I want to add is that it's funny when bands have these crazy outlandish names, and like the bands themselves are like nothing like the name, and I'm just like, yep. And I'm like, it's kind of like it's hilarious, honestly, because then you tell somebody the name, like hey, listen to this band called I'm trying to think again, right, Reaper, and then like, and I have to reassure them, be like, no, they're not as heavy as they sound. They're not as heavy as they sound. They're not death metal or nothing. They're not as heavy as they sound. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, like if I told you there's this band called Soul Scream, what do you think?
Jesus, I think of someone's getting killed.
Yeah, so they're actually a Japanese hip hop group.
Dude, exactly.
Like old school Japanese hip hop group.
Exactly, it's insane, and it's honestly funny how bands do that sometimes.
Yeah,
and I'll always appreciate any band who does that, who sounds different than the actual name, but the name sounds really fucking cool.
Yeah, because it makes it so that you have to like.
So you have to listen to them, really and then either they're good or they're bad. Most likely they're in the middle.
Yeah.
For the most part, but sometimes they're really goddamn good. Anyways, so this was the first episode. Meet the guys is what this is titled, and
I think that was
how long has this been going for? An hour and how long?
I think an hour 20 now. Just under an hour 20 at this point.
That's actually pretty good. That's a pretty good runtime.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed us talking about childhood shows and our favorite band. If you guys want, you can comment down below, and you can say your favorite childhood shows and your favorite bands and all that stuff. Because go right ahead. We want to hear. Yeah, we want to hear it for you. We want to hear it from you guys. That would be great. If you listen to this much in, that's amazing. Because I don't know how you can handle both me and Edge here for an hour and 20 minutes. Because it's insanity here. But I really do hope you guys enjoyed this podcast and the first episode of Two Friends in the Closet. This is gonna go on for I'll post this on. I'll probably drop this Friday because there's a few editing things I gotta do. But I hope you guys did enjoy this podcast. Edge, would you like to say anything before we sign off here?
Shout out to the Spotify listeners for our first episode. Anyone on Spotify listening in?
Yep. Anyone on Apple Music? Anyone on YouTube listening
Apple
to this
Music.
As well?
Of course, YouTube, always dedicated fans on YouTube.
Yep. Again, keep going,
Yeah, if you guys want to check out my channel,
I'll
drop videos.
I'll drop the link below. I'll also drop his link to his EP down below as well.
Yeah, and if you're listening on those audio platforms, be sure to check out Nick on YouTube, that guy Nick.
Yeah, thank you. Make sure you check out Edge on YouTube as well. You can find us on YouTube at just EDJ, all caps, and that guy Nick, capital T, capital G, capital N, and you'll find me.
Am I all caps?
Yeah, you all caps, EDJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you all caps, right? Or you just one cap?
I think I might just be one.
Okay, either way,
I don't know this.
Either way, you'll find him. Hopefully, he has a banner and a logo by then. Because, dude, come on, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on it, man.
If you need me to, I'll just create something for you, or you can do something because you're better at Photoshop than me by a long shot. I mean, you can see the logo on screen. This is the best I can come up with, but I like the simplicity of it.
Yeah,
it's a very simple Two Friends in the Closet. It's simple, it's easy, and I like at the bottom I put it's not what it sounds like.
Not what it sounds like. That's good.
Anyways,
right,
well, yeah. I hope you guys.
Watching,
thanks for listening. Thanks for listening, and I hope you guys enjoy this journey of me and Edge, aka Two Friends in the Closet. And no, it is not what it sounds like. All right, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out, everybody.